Donna Rosa sat down in the old wooden chair by the window of the small and simple living room. At 78 years old, her hands, marked by years of sewing and caring for the family, rested in her lap like tired birds. The afternoon sun entered weakly, illuminating the old portrait on the wall. Her husband, who passed away 15 years ago, her son Carlos, and her granddaughter Ana, still a child, all smiling. Life had been generous and cruel at the same time. Rosa raised Carlos alone after losing her husband. She worked day and night to give her son an education. When Carlos got married and had Ana, Rosa was the present grandmother, one of those who tell stories before bed and make cake, even without extra money. But time does not forgive. The arthritis got worse, her eyesight weakened, and, in recent months, the falls became frequent. She remembered with pain every morning when she woke up, feeling her joints throbbing. The simple act of preparing morning coffee now required effort, and many times the cup trembled in her hands, spilling the hot liquid. "How am I going to continue like this?" she thought, while looking at the empty backyard where she used to play with little Ana. The laughter of the past seemed distant echoes, replaced by the heavy silence of the house. One afternoon, she overheard the phone conversation. Carlos spoke quietly, but a voice full of concern crossed the thin walls. "Mother can no longer stay alone, Ana. Your mother and I are far away. The asylum has care, doctors, people her age. It's the best." Rosa felt her chest tighten as if an invisible hand were squeezing it. Asylum. The word sounded like abandonment. She imagined cold corridors, rooms shared with strangers, entire days without the familiar smell of the coffee she herself made every morning. She imagined meals served at rigid times, without the right to choose what to eat. Silent tears rolled down her wrinkled face. "I have become a burden," she thought bitterly. "After everything I did, after giving up my dreams to raise my son, and then my granddaughter, I am going to end my days surrounded by strangers who do not know my story." That night, Donna Rosa barely slept. She recalled every sacrifice, every renunciation, every time she gave up a new dress to buy shoes for her grandson. She remembered the nights she stayed awake sewing until dawn to pay for Carlos's school fees. She remembered the day Ana was born, and she spent weeks without sleeping properly to help her daughter in the pain of loneliness mixed with fear of the future. She loved her family with a deep fidelity, the kind that does not charge, only gives. But now she felt that love was moving away, like sand slipping through her fingers. Sitting on the bed, she clutched the old shawl her husband had given her decades ago. The memories came in waves. The smell of fresh bread she baked for her granddaughter, the rainy afternoons telling old stories, little Ana's small hands holding hers while learning to walk. Could it be that they forgot all this? She wondered in silence, her heart broken. The idea of leaving her little house, where every corner held a dear memory, was like dying while still alive. The suffering was profound, a mixture of gratitude for the past and paralyzing fear of tomorrow. Rosa breathed slowly, trying to calm her aching chest, but the tears kept falling, wetting the pillow. The next day, when trying to get up, she felt the weakness in her legs again. She fell, sitting on the edge of the bed, her body trembling. "I don't want to be a burden," she murmured to herself. "I wanted to be able to continue taking care of everything as before." The emotional weight was greater than any physical pain. She had always been the pillar of the family, the one who never complained, the one who united everyone with her unconditional love. Now, she saw herself reduced to someone who needed help for simple tasks. This perception brought an immense sadness, a void that seemed to swallow her dignity. Ana, at 29 years old, worked as a teacher in a small school. Brown hair always tied in a practical bun, expressive eyes that she inherited from her grandmother. Since childhood, Rosa had been her safe harbor. When her parents traveled for work, it was at Grandma's house where Ana found laughter, and life lessons that no book taught. In recent months, Ana observed her father and mother discussing Rosa's future. Her heart hurt deeply. She saw her grandmother declining, not only in body, but in soul. Aina lived in a modest apartment with a tight salary, but something inside her did not accept the idea of the asylum. Every time she closed her eyes, She saw her grandmother's tired face and remembered the silent promises she had made when she was a child. "When I grow up, I will take care of you as you take care of me." She started saving every possible cent. She cut unnecessary expenses, like snacks outside the house, canceled the streaming subscription she barely used, and gave private lessons at night. Even feeling the accumulated tiredness in her body, she sold some furniture she didn't use, and even held a small bazaar with old clothes to gather more money. The plan was simple and grand at the same time: to renovate the back room of her grandmother's house, install safety bars on the walls, place a bench in the shower, and hire a trustworthy caregiver for the days she needed to be at school. It was not easy. Anna knew she would have less freedom, less time for herself, more financial and emotional responsibility, but the love she felt was greater than any sacrifice. There were nights when Anna arrived home exhausted, took off her shoes, and cried alone on the sofa. "Will I be able to handle everything?" she asked herself in a low voice. The doubts hit hard, especially when she saw the bank account balance still far from what was needed. But then she thought about her grandmother's fidelity, and all the times Rosa stayed awake all night, taking care of her when she had a high fever. In the birthday parties, the grandmother prepared with what little she had. In the handwritten letters full of advice and affection when Anna went to study far away. Anna remembered with emotion the day she broke her arm at school and her grandmother dropped everything to stay by her side in the hospital, holding her hand and telling stories to distract from the pain. "She never abandoned me. How can I abandon her now?" she thought. That memory gave her strength to continue. She started visiting her grandmother more often, disguising the plan with ordinary visits. She brought fruits, helped with cleaning the house, and discreetly observed what needed to be repaired. The granddaughter decided that she would honor that fidelity with her own. She started calling every day just to hear her grandmother's voice and make sure she was okay. In one of those conversations, Rosa quietly commented that she was packing things for whatever comes. Anna felt her heart break, but kept her voice firm and affectionate, without revealing the secret. One day, after much effort, and with the help of a small controlled loan, Anna managed to close the budget. She called her father with a determined voice. "Dad, don't take Grandma to the asylum. I will take care of her. Everything is already being prepared." Carlos was surprised by the determination in his daughter's voice. He tried to argue about the tiredness and difficulties, but Anna was firm. "I know the challenges, Dad, but love does not calculate difficulties. Grandma deserves this." Anna did not tell all the details. She wanted it to be a true surprise, the size of the love she felt, while organizing every detail. Painting the walls, choosing light curtains that her grandmother liked, arranging the old photos on the wall. Aina felt a mixture of anxiety and deep happiness. She was transforming her own life to give dignity and affection to the person who had given her the most. It was a sunny Sunday morning. Donna Rosa was packing a small suitcase with a few clothes that still fit on her thin body. Each folded piece brought a pang in her chest, her heart heavy but resigned. Carlos would arrive soon to take her. She stopped for a moment, looked around the room, and whispered, "Goodbye, my little house." Suddenly, there was a soft knock on the door. Aina entered, with eyes shining with contained emotion and a smile that mixed nervousness, joy, and tears. Already about to fall, "Grandma, sit here with me for a minute." Rosa obeyed, confused, sitting down slowly in the chair. Anna knelt in front of her, holding her trembling and wrinkled hands with infinite affection. "Grandma, I know everything. I heard the conversation with Dad. I know you thought you were going to the asylum, but that is not going to happen. You are not going anywhere far from me. You are going to live with me. Grandma, I've renovated the back room of your house with a lot of love. I put the quilt that you yourself made years ago, the photos of the whole family on the wall, the old sewing machine that you like so much, and I even brought some of your favorite plants." Rosa blinked, stunned, the tears beginning to form. Anna continued, her voice choked. "I hired a good and patient lady to help on the days I am at school." "It is not luxury, Grandma. but it is made with all the love in the world. I want to wake up every day and give you fresh coffee, like you made for me. I want to hear your stories again before bed. Laugh at your memories. Take care of you as you took care of me all my life. You never left me alone. Now it is my turn not to leave you. Rosa remained silent for long seconds, processing every word. The tears flowed like a dam that finally breaks after years of containment. The suffering of weeks, the pain of the imagined rejection, the fear of being abandoned. Everything dissolved in that magical moment. She pulled her granddaughter into a tight and prolonged hug, the kind that seems to want to fuse two souls forever. Their bodies trembled together, mixing sobs of relief and happiness. My girl, you didn't need to go through all that work for an old woman like me. Yes, I did, Grandma, because true love does not abandon. It is union. It is fidelity. It is being present when it matters most. Carlos arrived shortly after and, upon seeing the scene in the room, stopped at the door with watery eyes. Emotionally, he joined the hug. The family gathered there in the simple and welcoming room, and for the first time in a long time, they laughed, cried, and hugged each other tightly. Rosa felt once again the true warmth of home. She was no longer a burden. She was loved, desired, valued, and necessary. In the following months, the afternoons returned to having the smell of freshly baked cake. The nights had stories told at the foot of the bed, laughter echoing through the house, and the pains of the body became lighter because Rosa's heart was overflowing with gratitude and peace. Anna found the strength she didn't even know she had inside herself, and Rosa rediscovered the full meaning of life, being loved and loving back, in a deep and faithful union that time only strengthened. This story reminds us that true fidelity and love are not measured by beautiful words, but by concrete actions, even when they cost sacrifice. Many times we think we will be abandoned in old age, but the bond of blood and affection, when cultivated, can surprise and heal the deepest wounds. Taking care of our elderly is not a heavy obligation. It is honor and gratitude. May we be, like Anna, the surprise that transforms pain into happiness and loneliness into union. If you were moved by this story, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, and leave your comment. Which part touched you the most? Share with someone who needs to hear about true love and family fidelity. Thank you for listening.